Wait, this is Kuala Lumpur. That's the reaction millions had. When a presidential motorcade rolled through Malaysia's capital, smooth highways, spotless stations, a skyline that looked more futuristic than half the West. And suddenly people started asking a very uncomfortable question. How did the so-called developing world end up building cities that feel more advanced than New York or London? Because in 2026, Kuala Lumpur isn't catching up anymore. It's pulling ahead. For decades, the West sold the image of the modern city. New York, London, Paris. These places became symbols of the future. But somewhere along the way, the future slowed down. Today, a lot of Western infrastructure feels like a museum people are still forced to use. Century-old subway tunnels, endless delays, construction projects that take longer than actual wars. And the craziest part? People accepted it. Late trains became normal. Broken escalators became part of city life. Cracked stations became historic charm. Meanwhile, thousands of miles away, Kuala Lumpur quietly kept building. Not patching, building. That difference changed everything. See, KL had one massive advantage. It wasn't trapped by the past. Malaysia didn't inherit giant, outdated rail systems from the 1800s. So instead of spending decades repairing old infrastructure, they designed for modern life from the start. Digital payments, dense urban growth, driverless transit, integrated districts. The city feels like it was planned for how humans actually live in 2026, not 1976. And nowhere is that more obvious than the trains, because this is usually where big cities fall apart. Ask anyone in New York about the subway. You'll hear words like delays, signal failure, maintenance, good luck. London, iconic, but aging. Paris, beautiful city, frustrating system. Then you arrive in Kuala Lumpur, and it feels weirdly futuristic. The MRT lines are clean, air-conditioned, fully automated. The stations don't smell like history, they smell new, and the network actually makes sense. That matters more than people realize, because real infrastructure isn't about aesthetics. It's about reducing friction in everyday life. KL understands that. The nearly completed Circle Line is a perfect example. Instead of forcing commuters through overcrowded city centers, it creates a full orbital connection around Greater Kuala Lumpur. Simple idea, massive impact, and while Western governments are still debating transit expansions in committee meetings, Malaysia is already laying track. That's the pattern you keep seeing. Less talking, more building. Then there's the skyline. Most people still associate Kuala Lumpur with the Petronas Twin Towers. But honestly, that's old KL. The city moved on. Now the symbol is Merdeka 118, nearly 680 meters tall. Second tallest building on Earth. But here's what makes it important. It's not just a giant trophy. That's the difference. A lot of megaprojects around the world are built for headlines. KL's projects are built for function. Financial offices, hotels, transit integration, commercial ecosystems. The city isn't building monuments. It's building magnets, places designed to attract capital, companies, talent, and long-term growth. And then you look at districts like TRX, Malaysia's new financial hub, connected directly to transit, walkable, mixed use, actually designed for modern urban living. Compare that to parts of downtown America right now. Empty office towers, declining foot traffic, ghost blocks after 6 p.m. That contrast is becoming impossible to ignore. But the real flex? It's not the skyscrapers, it's the convenience. Because Kuala Lumpur feels smooth. That's the word people keep using after visiting. Smooth, cashless payments everywhere, fast internet, connected walkways, affordable transit, small details, huge psychological difference. In older cities, you constantly feel friction. Tap doesn't work, train delayed, road closed, construction everywhere. In KL, things flow. Even the airport tells the story. Anyone who's suffered through JFK or Heathrow knows the feeling. Crowded terminals, long queues, pure exhaustion. Then you land at KLIA, and suddenly air travel feels civilized again. Efficient immigration, automated systems, clean movement, no chaos. And when global airlines keep adding routes into Kuala Lumpur, that sends a message. Airlines follow momentum, investors follow momentum, talent follows momentum. Cities rise faster than people realize. Then suddenly everybody notices at once. That's what's happening to Kuala Lumpur right now. And maybe the most shocking part of all this, KL didn't become futuristic by being louder than the West. It became futuristic while the West was distracted arguing with itself. That's why this shift feels so uncomfortable to people. Because once you experience cities that actually work, you start questioning why dysfunction became acceptable back home. And this isn't just about Malaysia. This is happening across Asia. Quietly, quickly, systematically, the global map of modern cities is being redrawn in real time. Most people just haven't realized it yet, but they will, sooner than they think. And the next city on this list? Most Western media barely talks about it at all. And that's where the story gets even crazier. Because Kuala Lumpur isn't some isolated miracle. It's part of a much bigger shift happening across Asia right now. A shift most people in the West still underestimate. For years, the assumption was simple. Innovation comes from the West. Asia imitates. Not anymore. Now entire cities across Asia are skipping phases of development the West spent decades struggling through. They're building smart infrastructure from scratch. No legacy baggage. No century-old systems holding everything hostage. And when you compare the speed, the difference becomes almost shocking. In many Western cities, adding a single rail extension can take 15 years. Environmental reviews, political battles, budget fights, public backlash. Meanwhile, in parts of Asia, entire transit networks appear in the same time frame. New airports, financial districts, high-speed rail, smart ports, built at a pace the West barely remembers anymore. And before someone says, yeah, but faster doesn't always mean better, fair point. But here's the thing, people don't judge cities based on ideology. They judge them based on experience. Does the train arrive on time? Can you afford housing? Does the airport work? Can you move through the city without stress? That's what people actually care about. Function beats branding every single time. And Kuala Lumpur figured that out early. The city doesn't obsess over looking futuristic. That's why it accidentally became futuristic. There's a lesson in that. Because some cities spend billions trying to look modern, while still feeling exhausting to live in. KL focused on usability. And ironically, that created something more impressive than flashy architecture ever could. A city that feels efficient. That feeling matters. More than politicians realize. More than urban planners admit. More than old global rankings can measure. Because once people experience convenience, they don't want to go backward. That's why digital nomads are flooding cities like Kuala Lumpur. Not just because it's cheaper, because the quality of life to cost ratio feels almost unfair. Fast internet, modern apartments, reliable transit, affordable food, global connectivity. For many young professionals, KL delivers a lifestyle that would cost 4 or 5 times more in cities like London or New York. And this creates another problem the West isn't fully prepared for. Talent mobility. In the past, ambitious people moved toward Western capitals. Now, that flow is starting to diversify. Because if a city offers opportunity, safety, infrastructure, affordability, and quality of life, people will go. Simple. And the countries that understand this first will dominate the next era of urban growth. Malaysia understands it. That's why Kuala Lumpur feels intentional. Nothing about the city's transformation looks accidental anymore. Even projects like the River of Life reveal the mindset shift. A polluted river system turned into public space. Walkable corridors, lighting, urban activation. Not glamorous, not viral, but deeply important. Because great cities aren't defined by skyscrapers alone. They're defined by how people feel moving through them every day. That's the part many governments still don't understand. You can't build a world-class city only for tourists. Residents have to feel the improvement too. KL increasingly does both. And honestly, that may be the biggest reason the internet reacted so strongly to those viral motorcade clips. It wasn't really about the convoy. It was the realization. People saw highways that looked smoother than theirs, transit systems cleaner than theirs, infrastructure newer than theirs, and suddenly the old narrative cracked. The developed world versus developing world distinction started feeling outdated, because development isn't a title you keep forever. It's something you maintain. Some countries stopped pushing forward. Others never stopped. Malaysia kept moving, quietly, and if this pace continues through the 2030s, Kuala Lumpur may end up becoming one of the defining global cities of the next generation. Not through hype, through consistency. And honestly, that might be even more powerful, because the future rarely announces itself loudly at first. Usually, it starts quietly, until one day the whole world looks up and realizes it's already here.